Very good morning, students. Now, this is a short note on bronchopulmonary segment and mention its applied anatomy. Okay, this is an important short note. Okay, the bronchopulmonary segment, surgically as well as anatomically, it has great significance, right? So in this short note, we will learn about the introduction first. So I am coming on to the introduction. Then I will tell you about the various segmental bronchi which are responsible for a particular segment of the bronchopulmonary segment in the lung. Okay. So let us come first to the introduction. Now this bronchopulmonary segment, they are the parts of a lung. There are many segments. A lung is divided into almost 10 segments on right side and 10 segments into the left side. And thus these segments are the part of the lung, and each individual segment is aerated by the single segmental bronchus. Single segmental bronchus. So this particular portion of the lung which is supplied by a segmental bronchus, it is that a part is called as the bronchopulmonary segment. And as I said that there are 10 in right lung and 10 in the left lung. So before understanding what is a bronchopulmonary segment, its boundaries, its content within the segments, let us first understand what are the segmental bronchi. So as there are 10 bronchopulmonary segments, in the similar way there are the 10 segmental bronchi in each lung. Now see this diagram. And in this diagram we see that this is the trachea. The trachea is here, and trachea at the level of the fourth thoracic vertebrae. At the lower margin of the fourth thoracic vertebrae, it divides into two principal or the primary bronchi. So this is the right principal bronchus, this is the left principal bronchus. Left principal and the right principal bronchus is there. Our primary bronchus is here. See this? It's dividing. Now if you will see the right principal bronchus here, this is shorter as compared to that of the left principal bronchus here. Left. This is almost 2.5 centimeter long, but here it is just double to that of the right. The left principal bronchus is about 5 centimeter long. Now the right principal bronchus is wider as compared to the left principal bronchus, and another difference between right and left principal bronchus is that here the right is at a lesser angle as compared to that of the left in comparison to that of the trachea. That means this division is not, symmetrical. The right seems to be direct continuation in the almost in the same direction as that of the trachea, while left divide and goes towards the left side at an acute angle. This angle, if you will try to draw the angle between the trachea and the left principal bronchus, it will be around 45 degree, and here it will be hardly 25 degree. Now this fact that the right seems to be wider and direct continuity of the trachea, most of the foreign body which are going into the trachea by accident, they try to go in the right side, in the right principal bronchus, because it is wider and it is directly continuous downward from the trachea is there. Now this right and left principal bronchi, then they enter the hilum of the lung or the root of the lung. They enter in the lung, root of the lung. Now the principal bronchi, after entering into the hilum, soon they will divide. They will divide into the first branching pattern, that is called as the secondary bronchi. Okay, so right and left, both the primary bronchus will divide in the secondary bronchi, and this secondary bronchi, okay, they will further go deep inside the lung tissue, okay, and then there they will divide into one more step here, and they are called as the tertiary bronchus or segmental bronchus. Okay, tertiary bronchus or segment. That means principal bronchus, after going inside the lung tissue from the root of the lung, then they will divide into the secondary, okay, or which are also called as the lobar bronchus. Okay, so here if you will see into the right side, okay, this principal bronchus is dividing into almost 3 secondary bronchus. Okay, now this is upper secondary, the middle secondary here, and then it is the lower secondary. So there are 3 divisions. So 3 secondary bronchus will be seen here. Upper secondary here in the left, and here it is in the lower. Okay, there is no middle in case of the left lung, and these will then further divide into the tertiary division. Okay, and this tertiary division, then when it will divide, these divisions are called as the segmental bronchi. Okay, so it is the tertiary division which is known as segmental bronchus. Our question was that what are segmental bronchi? So it is the tertiary division or the third division within the lung tissue of the bronchial tree, that is called as the segmental. Second was the for each lobe or lobar bronchi. Okay, say for example, the lobar bronchi was going to the upper lobe here, the upper lobar bronchus, then the middle lobar bronchus for middle lobe, and the lower lobar bronchus was going to the lower lobe of the lung on right side, and on left side it was the upper lobar bronchus and the lower lobar, okay, for the lobes of, and within the lobe then they will divide into the tertiary bronchi, which will be known as the segmental bronchus. So our interest is in this tertiary bronchi, that is the segmental bronchi, which is the third division of the bronchial tree, and this tertiary or the segmental bronchi will ultimately give the, air to that part of the lung which is called as bronchopulmonary segment. Okay, bronchopulmonary segment. Now let us see here the division. I think we should complete first the division of the upper lobar and the upper, middle and lower bronchus onto the right side. Okay, so let us see. This is the right upper lobar bronchus, this one, and then it is dividing into the 3 different branches. Okay, it is dividing into 3. This one which is going up is called as apical. This is, since it is going towards the apex of the lung, this branch of the tertiary are now segmental. It is apical, which was going from the upper lobar bronchus. Okay, upper lobar bronchus. Then further 2 branches are the anterior and posterior. Okay, this will be anterior and this will be the posterior. Anterior and posterior, right? So apical, anterior and posterior, these are the 3 segmental bronchi, okay, for the upper lobe of the right lung. Okay, upper lobe. Then this is the middle lobe, which lies between the horizontal and oblique fissure. This is the oblique fissure, this is the horizontal, and this small portion is that of the middle lobe of the lung. So this is the middle lobe, this was the upper lobe, okay, and then this middle lobe will divide into the medial and lateral, okay. This is the medial segmental bronchus and this will be the lateral segmental bronchus. So two segmental bronchus are there, anterior, posterior and apical. So medial and lateral. Then coming to the lower, okay, lower lobe, okay, this is the lower lobe, whatsoever lies below that of the oblique fissure. This is the oblique fissure, okay, and the area which is lying just deep to it here, this area is the lower lobe. And then let us see what are the segmental bronchi for that of the lower lobe. This is the apical, which will go apical or superior, you can also call, because there is already one apical here in upper lobe, so better call it as the superior. And then this remaining four branches or segmental branches or tertiary branches of the lower bronchus are the medial basal. Medial basal. Why? Because they are close to the base surface, inferior surface of the lung. So it is medial basal. So this will be called as the lateral basal. And then this is the anterior basal. And that will be called as the posterior basal. So there are four: anterior basal, posterior basal. See, this is anterior basal, this is posterior, this is more towards median plane, so it is medial basal, and then it is the lateral basal, and this is the superior basal, okay. So there are 5 segmental bronchus. So that means there will be 5 bronchopulmonary segments in the lower lobe of the right lung. There will be 2 bronchopulmonary segments, medial and lateral, in the middle lobe, and there will be the 3 bronchopulmonary segments into the upper lobe, because upper lobar bronchus divide into 3 segmental bronchus. Thus there are the 10 segments, and to which we can call as now bronchopulmonary segments. So there will be the 10 bronchopulmonary segments, okay. Now similarly come to the bronchial tree branching into the left lobe, which is little different, okay. It is little different. Now here there will be again, like here, it will divide into the upper lobar bronchus. This is the upper lobar and this is the lower lobar bronchus, okay. So upper lobar is here and lower lobar bronchus is here, but then the upper lobar bronchus will divide into 2 divisions, okay. An upper division here which is going towards apex, and a lower division which is going towards the lower side of this upper lobe, because in the left lung there are only 2 lobes, a upper lobe and a lower lobe, okay, upper lobe and lower lobe. Now let us see, this oblique fissure will be here going right up to the here. So what you will see here, that if you go to the upper lobar bronchus, which is dividing into the upper division and lower division, let us see its segment. There will be 3 segments which is coming from that of the upper division, and upper division, one which is going to apex is the apical, similar to that of the left. Here was apical, so here will be also apical, and then there will be the anterior and posterior, okay. This suppose is posterior, this will be the anterior, okay. This will be the anterior in the upper lobe, okay, in the upper lobe. But the lower division, okay, of this will also give 2, and this will be called one as superior and inferior. But since they are going to the lingular part of the lung, that is the lower notch-shaped structure, so that is called a superior lingular and inferior lingular, okay, superior and inferior lingular branches. Now then there are the similar way for the lower lobe, okay, there will be superior here, this is which was similar to that of the right lung, there is a superior, then there is a medial basal, similarly exact same as it was in the right lung. Then there will be the anterior basal, then there will be the posterior basal. So anterior basal, posterior basal, and then it will be the lateral basal, okay. So the basal part of the lower lobe supplied by the 1 superior and 4 basal segmental bronchus. So this also makes 10. So in the left lobe also there are 10 bronchopulmonary segments, okay. There are 10 bronchopulmonary segments. Now this must have given you a rough idea what is a bronchopulmonary segment and how ultimately we come to know that there are 10 bronchopulmonary in right and 10 in the left. So let us come to a definition of the bronchopulmonary segment. So just I am on to the definition, and in this definition we can say that the bronchopulmonary segment is a well-defined. It is a well-defined portion or sector of lung, and there are 10 sectors in right and 10 sectors in the left lung, and each sector or each segment, as it is called as, of the bronchopulmonary segment. So each segment is aerated or supplied by a tertiary or segmental bronchus. Now you know what is a tertiary and what is a segmental bronchus. So each lobe, I mean to say each segment, bronchopulmonary segment, will be supplied or aerated by the tertiary bronchus, okay, tertiary bronchus. And each segment is pyramidal in shape, okay, each segment is pyramidal in shape, whose apex is lying towards the root of the lung and base is on the surface towards the costal surface, okay, towards the costal surface or outer surface covered by the visceral pleura. So the visceral pleura will be here, which will be the outer limit of this each bronchopulmonary segment, okay. Now if we see further the definition, then we will see that this has its own artery, okay. So each segment has its own segmental or its own tertiary artery, okay. That is called as the pulmonary artery, okay. It is called as pulmonary. So each segment, which is I mean to say triangular in shape, okay, these are pyramidal in shape, it has its own bronchus and its own pulmonary, and pulmonary arteries are coming from where? They are coming as a branch of the I mean say bringing the blood from the right ventricle, which is deoxygenated blood, and then this repeatedly dividing, and ultimately each segmental pulmonary artery will go into each individual, I mean to say bronchopulmonary segment along with the tertiary bronchus, along with the there are separate individual lymphatics and nerves are sympathetic and parasympathetic, I mean say autonomic nerves are there. They lymphatics and nerve, they will go along with this the pulmonary artery and the bronchus, okay, tertiary artery, segmental bronchus. So this many structures are each segment, each bronchopulmonary segment will have this within the content. It will be the content of the segment which is pyramidal in shape, okay. Now then each segment is well defined. I said you in the earlier definition that each bronchopulmonary segment is well defined, and how it is well defined? It is surrounded by the connective tissue. Okay, it is connective tissue, intersegmental alveolar septa. Okay, so one segment is differentiated or separated from the neighboring segment with the help of this connective tissue septa. Okay, septas. So this is the well defined. These boundaries are clear, and within this pyramidal shape bronchopulmonary segment, these many contents are there. Then, but within this septa or connective tissue layer surface which is bounding its boundary, okay, there is presence of a vein, okay, intersegmental pulmonary vein, okay, that is the pulmonary vein, and not a big vein, it's the tributaries of the pulmonary vein which are present within this connective tissue septa. They carry the oxygenated blood. So these are pulmonary veins which will ultimately pour their blood into the left atrium, oxygenated blood, okay, oxygenated blood. So let us come to see, this completes the definition and description about the bronchopulmonary segment. You can see here the different segments into the costal surface is shown here, okay, and these are the 10 segments. 7th is not seen. So in upper lobe, there are 2 segments in right lung, that is 1, 2 and 3. 3 is medial one, second one is the lateral one, okay. So you can call it anterior and second is posterior. So this I will write here, anterior or medial, second or posterior, and this is apical, okay. This is called as apical, right, and this will be also called as medial and lateral. So this is the medial, 5th one, which is in the middle lobe, medial, and this will be 4th is called as the lateral bronchopulmonary segment. So, and remaining this is the superior, you call it as superior in the lower lobe. Then you call the 8th as the anterior basal, 9th you can call as the lateral basal, okay, 10th you call posterior basal, and then one is remaining, that is 7th, and that will be the medial basal, okay, medial, because it is more towards the root of the lung, which cannot be shown in this diagram. So in this way you can also see apical in the left lung, then 3rd is the anterior or medial, and second is posterior, okay. Now here 4th and 5th, they are in the lingual lobe, so this will be called as superior lingual, and this 5th will called as inferior lingular, okay, lingular. 6th will be the superior basal, okay. Now in the similar way you can divide the 8th as the anterior basal, 9th is the lateral basal, 10th is the posterior basal segment broncho, and 7th is inside on the medial surface, okay, just below the root of the lung. So that will be the medial basal, okay, that will be the medial basal. So these are the 10 bronchopulmonary segment in each lung. Sometime it may so happen that one of the bronchus, tertiary bronchus or segmental bronchus may be less in case of left lung. So there may be 9, sometime even 8 are also seen. Okay, 8. But usually there are 10 bronchopulmonary segment in this. Now let us understand the boundaries of one of the this bronchopulmonary segment. This is the visceral pleura, okay, or pulmonary pleura, covering the costal surface of the lung. Right, so this is one boundary, and this is the base, and then this whole structure of one segment here, broncho, is pyramidal or triangular in shape. Here this is the apex of this triangle, or the apex of this pyramid lies towards the medial surface, towards the root of the lung, okay, right? So this is the base and this is the apex. Now one of this boundary I have drawn like this. This is another boundary which is the fibrous tissue, okay, intersegmental, okay, septa. This is segmental alveolar septa, intersegmental alveolar septas are these. So this is a single bronchopulmonary segment. Now in this color indicate that it is the presence of the content and it is the tertiary bronchus or segmental bronchus. So this is segmental bronchus, okay, which will bring the air to this segment, okay, bronchopulmonary, which will divide, and just I have represented this alveoli as a bunch here. So this will go and put the air into the alveoli. Okay, now this bronchus is accompanied by this red line, and this red line is a bronchial artery, okay, not the pulmonary. This is the bronchi which will bring the oxygenated blood, that's why in red, and will supply the bronchial tree and surrounding area. But then I have drawn here in a blue color one which is repeatedly dividing, and this is the pulmonary artery which is bringing the deoxygenated blood which will get oxygenated in the lung alveoli of this bronchopulmonary segment, and from here the oxygenated blood will collect here into the, okay, pulmonary vein. But this pulmonary vein which is present in the loose connective tissue of the septa at the bound, which is forming the boundary between two adjacent segments, this is in red color, though it is vein, because it is taking the oxygenated blood from the segment and we will pour the blood into the left atrium, okay, left atrium. So that's why this is the pulmonary vein, pulmonary vein, and this blue color is the pulmonary artery, okay, pulmonary artery. So these are the structure beside the lymphatics and the sympathetic nerves, which are also autonomic nerves, which are also coming in each segment, okay. These are the boundaries and the contents of each bronchopulmonary segment. Now in this diagram I have tried to show you, this is one of the intersegmental septa, this is another intersegmental septa, and this is another. So how many segments are seen here? 1 and 2, which is separated by this intersegmental septa, and again the vein, artery and the nerves and bronchial arteries and vein are also shown here. So in this way there are 10 bronchopulmonary segments in each lung, which is acting as an independent functional, anatomical and surgical unit, okay, anatomical, surgical and functional unit of the lung, okay, is the bronchopulmonary segment, okay, where the artery, that is the pulmonary artery, is within the segment, bronchopulmonary segment, but the pulmonary vein is intersegmental, that is, it is running in septa. So it is draining the blood, oxygenated blood from both the sides. That means from the neighboring segments, neighboring bronchopulmonary segment, okay. So this fact you should remember, that the pulmonary vein which carries the oxygenated blood is intersegmental, while the artery which brings the deoxygenated blood for purification in the lung alveoli is within the segment. Let us come to the applied anatomy of this, okay. What is the applied anatomy? Now applied anatomy, it is important because if any infection will take place within a segment, okay, naturally infection will be brought by this tertiary bronchus, okay, or the segmental bronchus through the air. Mostly this happens, okay, and this infection will for long time will be confined or will be limited within a segment. It will not go to the neighboring segment, bronchopulmonary segment. So it limits, that is the utility, it limits the infection from is sprayed. It is not spreading to that of the neighboring structure. But this infection is for any other ordinary infection, not true for the tuberculosis, which lung is a common site for TB or tuberculosis infection, and since it is a chronic infection which runs for years, okay, this infection may not be limited within segment. It will go to the other segments of the lobe. Okay, it will go to the, and from lobes it may go to the whole lung also. So similarly, the cancer which will arise usually from this bronchial tree, tertiary bronchial tree or its branches, then this cancer is also not confined within the segment. It will rapidly spread to the neighboring segment and to the lobe. Okay. Now, this fact or knowledge of the bronchopulmonary segment is utilized by surgeon whenever they want to remove something, a beginning of the tumor or cancer, or there is some swelling or some infection is there, and if they want to remove that segment, okay, they can very well remove that particular segment, okay, without disturbing the anatomy and function of the neighboring bronchopulmonary segment. So what is called as the segmental resection become possible. Only a part of the lung has to be removed. Okay, out of 10 you will remove 1 or 2 segments and remaining segments will remain intact. Okay, or this knowledge has given us how the lobe can be also resected. Okay, resected. Now, since this tertiary or segmental bronchi, they run in different direction, and their direction and the area of the lung tissue which they are aerating or supplying with the air, we know it. Okay, that this particular segmental bronchus, superior or lingular or posterior basal will go in which direction and to which area of the lung it is going to supply. And that's why this fact is utilized to drain the pus. If pus is collected inside the lung, okay, we will put the patient in that position that it will facilitate or it will make the drainage of the pus, okay, through the trachea easy. Okay, so you put the patient in that position so that due to gravity that pus can be come into this tubular system of the bronchial tree, okay, and it is drained out. Okay, so this is called as postural drainage of the lung abscess. So abscess means collection of the pus is there. I hope that you have understood what is the bronchopulmonary segment and its applied importance. Remember that this is an important short note. Okay, thank you for watching this video.